crafty friends, welcome back to my channel, Margaret Knob Designs. If you see something that you like today, please like and subscribe to my channel. That is always awesome if you do that. If not, thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time spent with me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you a mini album that I made with this new collection from Country Craft Creations called Autumn Orchard. Now, one of the things that I've been trying to do this month is trying to get some more projects done and trying to make them and keep them as simple as possible with getting the projects done and making them very useful, but also, as I said, very simple. So what I did with this mini album is I took one of my older Graphic 45 pre-made albums. And as many of you know, they had black ones and khaki ones, and they had like a metal piece on here, and very simple type of album with not any really flips or flaps in them. So what I'm going to show you is what I did with this album, and then I am also a tutorial follow, probably like Friday or Saturday, somewhere in that time frame, on how to make this album if you don't have one. If you have a Graphic 45 older album, the ones they're not making anymore, or you can use the ones they're still making, you know, get that out of your stash and use it and have some fun. Get a new collection, this Autumn Orchard from Country Craft Creations. It can only be found there. And have some fun doing this, doing the album. So on the front of my album, I have one of the cut-aparts that I used. This is the pattern paper along here. And I was going to cut it out and pop it up and everything, but I decided that, again, I keep telling myself to be a little bit more simple because I tend to sometimes overthink what I'm doing and things take longer than they really need to. I also have a couple of the Prima flowers on the front of this album. Not sure if you can see that there. They're right there. And hoping that you can see this. So this album is 6 by 8, and it has like a 2 3/4, 3-inch spine. It's not quite 3 inches, but it's not 2 3/4. It's kind of in between there. And then on the back, I used some of that lovely paper with the leaves falling down. I also double matted my covers. I matted this with the burgundy artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations, and I did the same thing on the spine and on the cover. So if we open up, we come into this design of the mini album, and the only place that I really added anything was on the front cover and on the back cover. Otherwise, I did a pretty simple design all the way throughout. And one of the things that I tried to do with this is put my papers down, but not necessarily put them down with photo mats on them, because I, again, wanted to try to keep this a little bit more simple. But one of the things that I did do is I did cut some photo mats so we could take a look at that as we go through with the album. And what I did was I cut photo mats out. Now, whether I would use khaki or burgundy on here, I just used these because they're a little bit easier to see. But I did all my photo mats like 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 or 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, so you have a 2 by 2 picture. I added a 1/4 inch to all of the different matting so that I could keep it a little bit more standard in size. And then so it's 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Again, just trying to keep it a little bit more standard. And I can show you how some of these would fit really well on these pages. So as we go forward here, though, on this front cover, I did a small waterfall. And what I did is with this waterfall, I used the cut aparts the 3x4 cut-aparts from the collection, and I put a magnet on the back of here and just covered that with the pattern paper and used the cut-aparts. And I didn't put anything on the back, and I didn't even put anything in the middle here. I still have some leftover papers, but I'm going to wait and see if I really need to add that in there or not. But otherwise, as you can see, I used all these beautiful cut-aparts, and they turned out so well. It matches so well. And this actually is put onto a black piece of cardstock, the artisan cardstock, and I have it left open, so it's almost like a belly band, but not quite. But you can see it does go through. I didn't want to glue that side down, and what I did is I took one of the 4x4 cut-aparts and just backed it with the burgundy artisan cardstock, and then took the graphic 45 tags, left that blank on the back because I'm leaving it till I see what kind of photo I'm putting on the back. On this ribbon though, what I did is I had put those through, then I put a little bit of the art glitter glue underneath the knot so that that holds that real tight. And then I use the fray check on the end of my ribbons so that those don't come apart over time with wear and tear. And then as I went along with this book, what I ended up doing was cutting all the cardstock out, and I did it a bit of an assembly line style, so I cut all of them out because they were all the same size, and then I inked all of the edges, and then I went through and put all the pattern paper on. And believe me, there's a lot of pages in this binder or this album, and I just ended up taking the pattern papers and mixing and matching them as I went. So on our first page or first section here, we've got that there, and then we've got a pocket on this side, and this was one of the pattern papers that was on the back of the cut-aparts, and I really liked it for that tag, and there's this flat pocket in here. But as you can see, when we use these pages, we could put something like this. We would get the benefit of that paper here and here, or maybe we'd want to do something that looks a little bit more like that. Or actually, what even would work well is to do a smaller, or maybe if you want to just do something that's smaller period, and you just want to do those 2 or 3 on the page. You really can make a decision on how you want to do that. And what's nice is to be able to pick them out when you are when you're ready to put your pictures down. The other thing that you're going to notice is that I didn't use any of the ephemera throughout this book, and that's only because I wanted to wait until I put pictures in, and I would then utilize my ephemera as I went through. Because these pages here are also good by being able to put, you know, a 4x6 photo in here, and then maybe putting something along the edge there. But what's so nice about leaving them blank is that I can really design this as I go along and add my ephemera. And then if we come to this section, this has an opening, kind of an envelope pocket opening. My paper is in there. Yeah, I just have a black mat. I didn't cover it because I have quite a bit of the paper left over, more so than I would have with a lot of collections. But so I might go back and add to that as well. But this is the one side of the paper. This is the other side of the paper. And what I did is I just cut it down to the length of the pocket, and then put the other side on here. And then that's what I did on the back of this one. But I also, on the back of these pockets, because the album came with the graphic 45 tags, the ones that are in these pockets, but on the back side there was nothing in the pocket. And so what I did is I basically took some of the cut-off pieces from when I cut all the papers out, and use that to cover over photo booklets. So again, This was one side of the paper, this was the other side of the paper, and I just tried to keep them collectively together, similar designs. So even when we come to this picture, maybe there's something that we want to take a look at the whole paper. We like the truck, we like the buildings. So maybe we just put a picture down here and just have one picture and enjoy the rest of the paper. So that's what's really nice about having the photo mats pre-cut, that you can take a look how the page will work, and then you can match it up with your photos. And then on the back side, I started going into more of the purple and rust and the teal colors. So we have 2 empty pages there. And then we go into this purple and the rust. And we've got our tag, again, just like the other ones. And we've got our pocket. I'm not going to pull it out each time because it's just a black tag. And on the back of here, I made a little booklet that I can put pictures in, or I can even add a piece in here to do some journaling and make that an addition. This one, I actually took one side of the paper and then the other side, and you can see that there's a little bit more of a design, and this is another page that there is a design on there. So again, this is a page that might be good. You don't want to put a lot of pictures on because you like the design of it. Maybe you just put a small little picture in here. Or you put pictures of your grandkids' heads coming out of the door. So make it look, like it all fits and works together. Then we've got this beautiful buffalo check, my favorite. And got another solid piece here. And we've got a matching for there and blank on the back. One side, this is the other side of that paper. We come along here and we've got another side of our paper with the buffalo check here, buffalo check here. So it's all trying to tell a little bit of a story with the patterns and the designs of the album. And once you add some of the pictures in with some of the mats that there are, what it does is it will tone down some of the pattern and the color in your album. And then we go from here. We have the oranges and blues and greens was pretty heavy in here. So we're coming into here with the greens with the apples. And again, we've got some of the greens and oranges and the apples. And we've got more of the paper with the apples here. This is the other side of this paper. And we brought some of the teals in here. And then flipping this over, we've moved more to the oranges, teals. And this is actually not the other side. This was the bottom of this page, and I put that, I just will like the leaves for the pocket. And again, this one is craft cardstock, but it's all artisan. And we've got another one of our beautiful leaf designs. The other thing that, what did I do? I had done what I thought would look really nice on one of these pages is that if you wanted to even do like a photo spread, doing something like that, to give your page a little bit of a different design, would cover that up a bit. And then we flip over, we kind of going into our purples again with our squirrels, and going into the sunflower with the purple and the teals and the yellow, purples and the teals and the yellow. And we've got our tag right there, and we've got another book right here. I did 3 craft books and 3 black books, and I just mixed them up with what papers looked best for the sections. And so we did this pattern here because of this pattern down here, did some of the green in here because of the greens through here, and the yellows or the golds. Thought it worked pretty well. And then we've got our apples to the back of here, and we go to this page. This is the other side of this one with the apples. And we've got our buffalo check with the golds and blues and golden colors. This one I moved around. I actually did this toward the front and the tag toward the back because I liked the way it matched better. And then we've got our insert again. And I've got this tag back here. I thought this worked better for back here with this golden colors. And we come to the back, where we finish off in the back with an additional tag and one of the 4x4 cut-aparts, and that's just plain on the back. So very simple, but the thing that's so wonderful is the colors are just remarkable, and they work so well together. It'll be wonderful to end up getting pictures in there, and I've had some beautiful fall pictures from last year, and I'm hoping that I can collect some more from this year and fill up the book. So again, the other thing that is in this collection that I just want you to remember is there is the cut-aparts, and like I said, I only used one. Let me just pull them out real quick here. I have about 6 papers left over, and with the 6 12x12, and so what I'm going to do is once I get my scan and cut set up, I'm going to go ahead and cut this whole sheet out, and or at least most of it out, and then I'll back those with the black or the burgundy behind it to be able to mat these. So if I don't use them in this mini album, I will use them to make cards because I have several sheets, like I said, of this left over. And that's another point I want to make. There's 3 sheets of each design in this collection. So I used all of the, for sure, every 2 sheets of every one, plus 3 of maybe 2 or 3. But I have 5 or 6 of the sheets left over. So I have plenty of leftover paper to make other projects or other designs. That's the other thing that Tamara does so well, is that you're just always assured you're going to have enough paper in a collection. So that's just awesome and amazing. And so let me know if you have any questions about this. Again, I am going to be doing a tutorial on this, on how I cut the sheets of paper, and how I did some of the things with the design, how to do this type of page in a mini album if you want to do something this simple with this many pages. We're going to go through that. And that again will be up probably by Friday once I'm done editing. Saturday at the very, very latest, but I'm hoping by Friday. So other than that, I think I've gotten everything on here or that I wanted to talk about with this project. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so very much, and have a wonderful night.